Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. In today's tutorial, we will cover how to set up a DNS server using Bind9 on Ubuntu 24.04. DNS server plays a crucial role in translating domain names into the IP address and vice versa, and making it easier to access websites. If you are working on a local network or looking to host your own DNS, then this is the guide for you. Let's dive in and get started. Before we begin, let's talk about what Bind9 is. It is one of the most widely used DNS server applications, especially popular in Linux environments. By configuring Bind9, we can manage domain name resolution within the network or even host your own domains. In this tutorial, I'll be using the following. So this is my Ubuntu 24.04 system where I will be installing the Bind9 in order to configure the DNS server. This is the IP address of my system, and this will be the domain name that I will be using it while installing and configuring the DNS server. And this is the private network. On this private network, I have these two client machines. These client machines will be using this DNS server. Without any further delay, let's get started. In the interest of time, I have already prepared a set of instructions and the sample file that I will refer in this tutorial. I will paste these in the description of the video for your reference. The first step is to update system packages. In order to install all the available updates on your system, first we need to run the apt update and apt upgrade command. I have already taken the SSH session of my Ubuntu 24.04 system. Let's start updating the system packages. And clear the screen, run sudo. Next, install the Bind9 package along with the additional utilities for the configuration. For that, we'll be running this command. Copy this command, clear the screen. Once all the packages have been installed, we will move into the configuration part. All the configuration files for the bind are located in the folder /etc/bind. One of the important configuration file for the bind is named.conf.options. In this file, we will define our private network and we will allow that private network to query to this DNS server. Apart from this, we will add the forwarder's DNS server. This will come into the picture whenever our local DNS server is unable to resolve any query. In that case, local DNS server will forward that request to this forwarder DNS. Right. Let's edit this file. I'll be using the sample file that I have already prepared. Copy these lines. I will delete these lines. And paste the one that I have copied from the sample. So this is my private network. Under allow query, I have allowed this ACL, internal hyphen network. In the forwarders, I have specified the Google DNS server. All right. Now save this file. Next important configuration file is name.conf.local. In this file, we will define the zones for our domain. There are two types of zone files, reverse zone and the forward zone. In the forward zone files, we'll define the records like NS, A, MX, and CNAME. And in reverse zone files, we usually define the PTR records. All right, let's edit this file. Again, I will use my sample file. So copy these lines. So under this zone section, I have defined this is my domain name. For this domain, this is my forwarders zone file with the name forward.linuxtechie.org. Similarly, for the reverse zone, we need to define this syntax. So make sure you replace the domain name and this private network according to your setup. And this is my reverse zone file. All right, save this file. Sample zone files are already located under the etc bind folder. For forward zone, you can refer this one, and for the reverse zone, you can refer this file. Next, create our forward zone file. Copy the content from our sample file. This is the NS record which explain about the FQDN for our DNS server. In our case, the FQDN for our name server is primary.linuxtechie.org. And I have defined the A record. This A record points to our Ubuntu 24.04 system. I have also defined MX record. MX record is used for the mail servers. So this is keyword. MX is your type of record. 10 is the priority for this record. It could be a scenario that you would be running a multiple mail servers. In that case, this priority come into the picture. And this is the FQDN of my mail server. Similarly, for www, I am running a web server on this IP, and mail server is running on this IP. And in the last, I have defined a CNAME record. Save this file. Next, create a reverse zone file. Copy the content from the sample file. In this file, we have PTR records. PTR records means DNS will resolve the IP address into the FQDNs. So this is for my name server, 50 is for my web server, and 60 will resolve into my mail server. Save this file. Next, edit etc default name file. We need to add one parameter so that DNS service start listening on IPv4. In order to implement these changes, we need to restart our bind service, that is named. For that, run the command sudo systemctl restart named. Enable this service so that it is persistent across the reboot. Now verify the status. The output confirms that named service is up and running. In case OS firewall is running on your system, then you need to allow the DNS port, that is 53. For that, you can run the command sudo. Let me clear the screen first. There are some utilities that can cross-verify the syntax of your conf file and the zone files. If you want to verify the syntax of your conf file, in that case, you can run this command sudo space named -check conf and the conf file that you would like to validate. Copy this. If there is no output, it means the syntax wise the file is okay. Similarly, you can cross verify your zone files. For zone file, there is a utility called named-check zone. Here OK means syntax wise this file is perfect. Similarly, do the validation for recursion file. Now our DNS server installation and configuration part is completed. Next, validate this DNS server. For that, we will be moving to the client machine. We will update the DNS server on that machine and we will run couple of test cases. All right. First, we need to make sure in the result.conf file, our DNS server is specified there. You can cross verify. I have already updated this file and added our DNS server. All right. Now we have a utility called dig that can query to our DNS server. Let's try to run the command dig and then the FQDN of our name server. It is primary.linuxtechie.org. Great. We are getting the answer from this name server. Let's do a PTR record validation. For that, you can use dig-x and then the IP address of your DNS server. Great. This is pointing to this FQDN. Means PTR record is also working fine. And let's look up. Let's say I want to have the record of my web server, linuxtechie.org. For this FQDN, www.linuxtechie.org, this is the IP address of my web server. Similarly, we can cross verify the record for our mail server. That's all from this video tutorial. I hope you have found it useful and informative. Please do like the video, subscribe to our channel for more tech tutorials like this. Feel free to post your queries and feedback in the below comment section. See you in the next video. Bye.